Chris. Die. Oh, 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 die. Roll. Ride. All day. All night. Pop Chris. Die. Oh, oh, line.
Wait, hold on. Who the fuck is on my line this time? Unknown number caller, probably my PO, so I ain't gonna decline this time. Hello? Pop you a bitch when I catch you, I'll nail you. That's for my homie, nigga.
He said, money making Mitch. He said, I can smell a nigga with money. He said, I can smell a motherfucker. Damn. Yo, he said, I can smell a motherfucker with money. No more. I ain't know that. Okay. Hold up, baby. Now it's the game. Now it's the game. I don't even know how to fuck even. I'm gonna squeeze and stand over. What do you say? I'm gonna squeeze and stand over. God, man, what does that mean, dog? Huh? I don't know. That ain't good. That ain't a good sign. Yo, I swear to God, check it, right? I made this banging ass Kool-Aid / type of motherfucking raspberry iced tea shit, whatever. Yo, I swear to God, that shit was rocking. So look, I put raspberry lemonade, the 4C raspberry lemonade. I put this time I put a packet of orange. But usually I'm using the kiwi strawberry, I think it is, the green one. Kiwi watermelon, one of them shit. No, kiwi watermelon. With the tropical flavor. Kool-Aid with a little bit of sugar. So look, I put water in there. I keep more water because it's a little too sweet. I ain't gonna lie. But then the wild taste is just right. So boom, I had a mango Snapple, in the freezer that I left freeze by mistake. So I had put it in the refrigerator, thawed out, still was cold, had the slush in there and everything. I drunk on some of the mango Snapple, and then not all of it, and then got the juice that I made. Poured that in there with it and let the ice maybe melt. Man, that shit rocking. I'm trying to tell you. Right? But you got two people on you anyway. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, yeah, little freak nigga, yeah. Yeah, both of them is on you. Both of them. Swain passed out the bar here. He was over there. Dumb as hell, man. Yeah, man, motherfucking recuperating today, you heard? You know, just that like that should be that should be much needed, bro. I'm trying to tell you. Woo! I'm saying, bro, he wasn't much he could do anyway. He's small, but that was the hustle. But yo, yeah, sometimes you gotta recuperate. You know what I'm saying? You gotta recuperate and just chill. Then you start and get your thoughts together. You know what I'm saying? Had a hectic ass day yesterday. Long ass day. Yesterday was crazy, bro. No bullshit. Yesterday we had a long, exhausting fucking day yesterday, bro. I'm trying to tell you. And then on top of that fucking heat, okay? On top of that, the fucking heat was not letting up. I swear it wasn't. The heat was not letting up, yo. Long, exhausting fucking day. But all in all, it was where can I put it? Today was that's exactly. See? You see the nigga, yeah, man. See, exactly. The same way he kicked it out to the 3-point line when he drove in. Same way bro that shot the ball should do the same thing. Common sense when the point guard penetrate and kick it out. Drive and kick. But yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. Had a very long, exhausting day. Okay. With the heat, it's made shit more draining. But I had to keep on keeping on. I'm so like this. I'm so disappointed. Like I keep thinking about this shit, like because I was supposed to do something that I said I was gonna do, or like I was gonna go somewhere that I said I was gonna go, and I ain't even make it there. I ain't even go. Cause I know, but I'm gonna recuperate tonight though. You see, like everybody out there enjoying their motherfucking Saturday, doing whatever they doing, frolicking the land, jumping off, fucking, sucking, getting numbers, this bar, that club, these people face, and those people face. You know what I'm saying? Like being fake, laughing and joking and shit, and around motherfuckers that you don't even like or really fuck with, or that, or shit that ain't even funny, like, like, whatever kid may be, you know what I'm saying? To each his own. My thing is, I ain't indulging none of that shit, you know what I'm saying? I ain't indulging none of that shit. So while all them that I just, like, wow, Are people doing everything I just said? I'm gonna be right in the mother right here. Right here. You know what I'm saying? Be right here. Chilling. By my motherfucking lonesome. Hear it up. I need this piece, bro. Everything happened for a reason, bro. Ain't no such thing as coincidences, bro. Everything happened for a reason. Whether it's a good reason or a bad reason. Or whether the reasons is both good and bad. Have it go. Like, everything happens for a reason. Regardless if, you know what I'm saying, even if certain stuff that be happening to us or that we experience, you know what I'm saying, go through in our life, even if we don't know the reason or never find out the reason behind it. I mean, like, it's still a reason though. Still a reason. Straight like that. Motherfuckers be stupid. Oh well. We ain't find a reason, we ain't come up with a reason, we don't know the reason, so there ain't no reason for that shit happening. It just happened to just be happening. Wrong. That's false. He fast.
Nah, he good. That three, you should have that side.
It's crazy because nigga can shoot, but he shoot like weird though. His phone weird as hell. Get the fuck out of here! You fucking lying! You gotta be fucking cheating, yo! You gotta be yo! Hell no! Hold up! Hold up! Hold up! Hold the fuck up!
So this is completely backfiring on DDG and not going how he expected. So DDG.
Hold on. This nigga just made that shit, bro. Yo, bro, how the fuck he make that shot? No, that's 48. And then the Roy Gardner ain't even jumping anyway. Like, they ain't jumping that shot. Look at this shit. Yo. There's no way. That's wild, bro. He really made that shit, bro. He like what the fuck? Damn, bro.
Audio engineering experts to review those audio tapes from the CTO call in its entirety.
So what did they find inside that recording? Was Nolan actually on the boat? And can they finally force justice for Nolan? The answers converge in the analysis that follows. In recent days, numerous important testimonies and clues have been provided by Nolan's friends to prove his innocence. However, this information has not been published through any official channel, but rather through Brandon Tatum's personal account, raising doubts about the authenticity of the information and the purpose behind its release. Brandon Tatum presented the accounts of Nolan Wells' companions as tightly consistent and genuine after sitting with them in Mississippi. He describes traveling.
Nolan Wells audio distress call. Is it real? Good evening. I'm Nancy.
What?
This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
Everyone in the background is saying, is he dead? Nolan, wake the
Claiming they're sinking and calling for help. And yet, in the background, are we really hearing all of this other activity?
Nobody has ever, none of the kids on this boat have ever admitted that anybody said that they thought Nolan was dead.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please tell me we have a membership?
Alright, of course. How far is the coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Angles? Hello?
Hey,
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down.
We're just sinking. I don't know. We're going down. How the fuck you go from just sinking, you going down, to oh y'all good?
I don't know if that number is. It's either. I think it's. Try that.
Y'all don't need a CTO no more.
I know we have a
Y'all
membership,
good.
like, guaranteed. I don't know
Alright,
the tag
unless
on
you
it.
have a
We got
membership number or anything, it's okay. I'll get you over to accountant.
Fucking next thing you know, cattle like, oh no, I talked to the grandfather. They good.
You are
They all right.
hearing the
They said they don't need no help no
distress
more.
call
They don't need no
from
tow.
The boat.
So
That is the boat on which Nolan Wells
if
went to
if they need help,
Horn Island. Now,
yeah,
there's been a
call.
lot of different accounts about whether he was on the boat when he came back from Horn Island, when he was supposed to come back from Horn Island. He never came back from Horn Island. And you can clearly hear on that version, which we obtained from the Mississippi Department of Marine Research. They released it. It's not something off TikTok or Insta. And that's what you hear. Let me hear 184 one more time, please.
Vicky speaking, how can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please tell me we have a membership?
Alright, of course. How far is the coming up, sir? Can you give me a description?
we're sinking. You need somebody to come. Give me a description. How far the water? Ankles what? Knees?
Hey,
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like
We're just sinking. I don't know how far it's coming up. What the fuck you mean? You on a boat, right? Like you looking at this water coming in. How far is it coming up? Like is it to your knee, your calf, your ankle? What? I don't know. We're just sinking.
Friends told investigators that when they left the island, he had
Fuck out of here, bro.
How far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
All right, so I want to be clear with this one thing, because I know you mentioned before. Is there any chance or any knowledge that you have that anybody deleted stuff from his phone?
Wells' friends told investigators that when they left the island, he had chosen to stay behind with a young woman he'd met there. One friend, when asked about that account directly, said it didn't square with the Nolan he knew, that he'd never known him to separate from the group like that. That contradiction has been sitting in this case from day one, but new reporting adds something sharper.
Nolan was like a brother to me. Nolan lit up every room he walked in. 4th of July, everybody was out there. Nolan rode out on the Triton, and then we had a Palm Beach, 18 Palm Beach. There was 4 guys on that. So the group was just ranged from maybe 10 to 15 or 16 people on my buddy's timeline.
Yeah, so y'all pretty much having it. So you guys get ready to leave out of there, getting towed out.
Yeah.
And then where's Nolan in this situation?
Well, Nolan was, the last time I saw Nolan was 3 o'clock. And Nolan was cradling a girl in his arms, Katie. You know, Katie. And Katie, Nolan was sitting there, and the last time I saw him, I looked at Nolan, and Nolan was like shaking his head laughing, and I was like, dude, you crazy. I was like just joking with him. And but anyway, Nolan, that was the last time I laid eyes on him. But when we were leaving, obviously no one is getting left at the island that came with us unless they demanded to, you know, be there and asked, you know. This is a very common thing at Horn Island. When you're out there, a lot of people ride out there with someone and in with somebody else all the time. I've done that 100 times. You know, it's a very common thing, but Nolan was sitting by the boat with that girl, and my buddy yelled for Nolan, get on the boat. We're leaving. The boat's having issues, and like, no, he didn't say that, but he was panicking. Nolan, get the F on the boat. Get on the boat. And Nolan said, no, I'm staying out here. I'm going to ride it with somebody else. And it's not uncommon to hear, but it's not like my buddy asked him one time. My buddy asked Nolan multiple times to get on the boat. Nolan, get on the boat. Get on the boat.
So why he didn't come forward and say he was asking him? Where's that person that was asking Nolan and telling Nolan to get in the boat? Where he at?
And like he said,
So he could, so it could be determined whether he got the same story as you, whether he say the same thing as you saying. Because you saying he said Nolan get on the boat, that means you was right there. So he should say the same thing you saying. Both y'all should have the same story.
3 guys all the way back, and Nolan wasn't the only person to ride out there with us and in with somebody else. I mean, we had multiple people in our group that rode out with us and rode in on someone else's boat. And that, like I said, that's not an uncommon thing to do, you know? I mean, a lot of people do that. I could name probably 50 people out there that day that ran out with somebody and ran back in with somebody else. So, I mean, it's not like it's an uncommon thing, but it's not like we just left him there. Or
No, it did, though.
Just left him there. Nolan made a decision to stay on the island after my friends asked him multiple times and told him to get on the boat, and he decided to stay.
And I heard the girl that he was with, Katie, had text somebody
Yeah.
that she heard people yelling
Correct.
Nolan to get on it. Is
Yeah,
that true?
and I have a picture of that. She texted my buddy, and
Bullshit. She ain't say she heard nobody yelling to get on the boat. She said last time she seen him, he said that he was getting the ride back with his friends. Y'all motherfuckers said that he said that he was getting the ride back with Katie. Katie said, "No, he wasn't getting the ride back with me."
She saw Nolan was when
because last time I seen him, he said he was going to get on the boat with his buddies. He's getting a ride back with them.
Dispatch audio confirms a call came in reporting the boat was taking on water and starting to sink. But GPS data pulled from the boat afterward shows it didn't actually leave the island until around 4:30 in the afternoon, roughly 30 minutes after that emergency call went out. Investigators have said plainly that if the boy's story doesn't match what the GPS shows, they have a problem. About 60 witnesses have now been interviewed as authorities try to reconstruct what actually happened on that island.
So what's your intent in calling the Coast Guard, right? Because right now, Nolan could be with a chick.
Hold on, what time you said they
could
left?
be with somebody.
Was it didn't actually leave the island until around 4:30 in the afternoon, roughly 30 minutes after that emergency call went out. Investigators have said plainly that if the boy's story doesn't match what the GPS shows, they have a problem. About 60 witnesses have now been interviewed as authorities try to reconstruct what actually happened on that island.
So what's your intent in calling the Coast Guard, right? Because right now, Nolan could be with a chick, he could be with somebody else.
But how he could be doing all this stuff and be all these places and nobody seen him or know nothing? Because I looked at the shape of the island, like, bro, you could have seen him eventually before y'all left.
I mean, like I said, my friends and I know.
If he didn't get on the boat, but he got on that boat with y'all.
Stuff happens. People die all the time. I know people that have died out there. And, you know, it's a fun place to be, but it's also a very, very dangerous place to be if you're not handling it right. And Nolan, so I hadn't heard from him, and obviously I'm thinking I'd way rather be safe than sorry. I mean, I would rather call the Coast Guard 100 times and lose my mind over it, my buddy be okay, than, you know, not, and me not know where he is and him not be okay.
Man.
And so I called the Coast Guard, and I talked to them on the phone for like 20 minutes, gave him a description, what Nolan's wearing, the last place we were at, the last time I saw him, who we were with, what boat we were on, the conditions of the water, just, you know, just a summary. And I called Miss Christine back after, and I talked to her, and I said I got to contact the Coast Guard. I'm not sure who she called. Or,
But when was this?
You know, what she did, but I think she said she was going to make a couple phone calls to either DMR or Jackson County Sheriff's Office, and I mean, yeah, that's, I was thinking worst case scenario. Like, I mean, you know, I would way rather be safe than sorry about this, you know.
The Officer Tatum on YouTube, he's interviewed Nolan's friends. Now, we're about to bring on 2 experts, each one taking a different viewpoint on that call. But, Officer Tatum, thank you for being with us tonight. What do you make of that audio, Officer?
Well, Nancy, thank you so much for having me on. If you put the audio within context, it is an impossibility unless these people are prophesying that somehow they're saying Nolan's name or projecting that Nolan is somehow injured, hurt, or killed, because we have witnesses that have come out. When I interviewed Warren, a lot of those kids that I talked to already alluded to this way before the audio came out, that they were gone. And people had already saw Nolan after they had left. The young lady, Katie, that he was hanging out with, I saw a text message from her alluding to the fact that she never saw him get on that boat at all. We have video of the boat that we shared on our social media page, and it shows all the occupants on the boat, and Nolan was not there. And so if a person thinks that they've heard something on the audio, they have to compare it with context. Maybe they said, is it dead? Talking about items that could potentially have died or damaged on the boat, given the fact that they were sinking. So I think people need to put this in context and reevaluate what they're listening to on the video, because if you are going to make a staunch stance in the wrong direction, in my opinion, by saying they're obviously talking about Nolan, it is incredibly impossible. One more thing, real quick, that when you look at where they were at when they made the phone call and their GPS coordinates, it literally put them on the island. And we know, and not on the physical island, but really close proximity to the island. And we know, because we have another video of Nolan being out there and also all the other boats surrounding him, that this would have had to happen very near to hundreds of people in hundreds of different boats. So somebody would have seen something if there was a dramatic commotion like this occurring on that boat.
I hear what you're saying, Officer Brandon Tatum.
Sources with knowledge of the investigation say there's now evidence, including at least 2 witnesses, placing Wells on Horn Island after his friend's boat had already left. If that holds up, it directly undercuts the version of events his friends gave to police in those first critical hours. And the boat itself doesn't line up either. Meanwhile, a Marine Patrol email surfaced describing Wells's alcohol intake that day as heavy, adding one more variable investigators will have to account for once toxicology results are in.
Wait a minute. The state of Mississippi is trying to reshape the narrative on the Nolan Wells death? Really? So it's been reported that Nolan Wells, witnesses have come forward to say that Nolan Wells was drinking heavily during the day of the 4th of July. As to say, that's why he drowned. Because remember, authorities have already come out and said, even before they did the autopsy, that Nolan Wells drowned. And his mother, Christine Wansley, said that was not good enough for her. That she needed a medical explanation as to what led up to those events of him, if they say